Vernon Felton, Senior Editor at Bike Magazine. Welcome to Bike's 2015 Bible Bike Test. Tonight, we're talking about Liv's Intrigue 1. The Liv Intrigue is essentially Giant's female version of their popular Chance 27.5 bike. What that means is it's a 140 millimeter travel trail bike, and if you don't speak millimeters, that means it's 5.5 inches. This is the same bike that Kelly Emmett, Liv rider, professional rider, raced in the Enduro series, and so it's an incredibly capable bike. But it's not just sort of a color-coded female bike. Giant has absolutely female-specific geometry. They shorten the top tube on it, they raise the handlebar height a little, and they steepen the head angle a full degree to make it a little more responsive to steering inputs. The real question is, what did you guys think of it?
I thought it was great.
Me too. It was fun.
Descending especially, I think that Maestro suspension is just super plush, and it's really nice on the descents, for sure.
Now, how about did you feel that the rear suspension was well balanced by the Fox Taos fork up front? Was it a good match? I mean, they're both Fox stuff, but obviously the rear suspension.
Yeah, I remember having a few times when I felt like the front end was a little bit squirrely, and I don't know that I'd go so far as to say it was the fork or how steep it is. I don't know, but there were a couple times when I was like, the front end is a little bit less solid than I would want.
Was it a little
particularly like high speed? I remember there was a couple points where it was like a high speed kind of uphill into a rocky section, and I kind of just remember getting like really bounced around and just feeling like it was a little squirrely up front.
Did you guys experience similar things with the bike?
I don't know if I experienced any squirreliness. I think my time on this bike could be described as just like it was a solid ride. Like I don't feel like it was particularly amazing in any categories, but it also didn't scare me or buck me or do anything weird. I just was like, it's a great bike. It does what I want to, and it feels fine. So
the one thing I noted about this is it's the second year for the Intrigue line, and it's mostly unchanged from last year, and I had been sort of hoping that Liv, which is sort of the spin-off of Giant, would kind of create a higher level model, maybe a 1x with a carbon frame, and just to show they're really serious about this category, and not to price people out, but just to kind of show their commitment and produce that really high level version of the Intrigue. I think it would be so sweet.
I think that's a really good point too, because they also make the Giant Lust, which is their 4-inch travel bike,
right,
and that comes in carbon and 1x11, and it is a little bit more pricey, but they're making that extra step for the cross-country rider. It would be nice if they did it for the trail rider. I feel like there's a lot of trail riders out there that would really appreciate a carbon bike with 1x11 and 5.5 inches of travel.
Yeah.
Now that said, did you feel that the aluminum frame was actually lacking out on the trail?
not geometry-wise.
Geometry or stiffness? I mean,
No. I think it's more like from a philosophical standpoint, or just to kind of show that there is this commitment. And I do have to say, when I was writing it, it's like, man, this would be so cool if this was a 1x and this was just like.
And it's interesting because they did that purposely, the 2x on this bike, feeling that. Because you can get an incredibly low 1x, right?
Right.
A lot of the bikes we have don't have exceptionally low 1x. They might have a 32 ring, but they thought that the 2x here, to 2236, I believe, had lower gearing and would be better suited for women. But it sounds like, is it fair in saying that you all would prefer 1x on this bike?
Yeah. I think just in general too, because I think it simplifies the whole process of riding, and I think that's one thing that's intimidating to women, is having a 2x and figuring out how to shift, or even having a triple. Like things that I see in the shop, it's like I go over how to shift, when to shift, those kinds of things, and when you get rid of that front chainring, like you don't worry about it. You just stand up and pedal, make it through the rocks.
Yeah, I think I remember you even saying one time, like, man, it would be fun to ride this bike with nicer components. Like, and I think we all kind of felt that way. Like, it's a really good step, but it'd be cool to see it with the stuff we're used to using.
It's almost
and
like
that sounds more of the 1x, because this has a carbon wheel set, which is a huge deal. Like, in carbon wheel sets could be $2,000 by themselves or more. So it has a carbon wheel set. Again, it's got the Fox components on it, the dropper bows, the SRAM guide brakes, which are outstanding. But the 1x sounds like something you guys really wanted, and again, the carbon frame at least is a signal where they could go with it.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting. I mean, they always say that wheel upgrades are the most important things. Like that's where you save the most weight, you get
Right.
the most benefit. Definitely not the cheapest route to go, but I just think it's interesting that they chose to do carbon wheels instead of a 1x7.
I know. I thought that was very interesting too.
Which would you
I don't
have
know.
preferred?
I'm sorry.
Which would you prefer? If you could
One
choose
by.
between the carbon wheels
Oh,
and the
one
1x?
by.
Okay.
For sure.
Because you would lose a pound right there going 1x.
Yeah, you can lose that. You can lose a fair amount, between 3/4 and a pound.
Yeah.
And I do really like Giant's commitment to the 27.5 wheels. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think they're like all in on 27.5, and I think that's a great move for this bike, and probably for a lot of their models. But I really like that about this.
Who do you think this bike is best suited to, or another way to put it, what kind of rider would really like this bike?
I think a slightly more aggressive rider,
Mhm.
not just somebody who likes to pedal, who wants to go uphill and downhill and have the same amount of fun in both cases. I think it's really designed for that because it's fully capable of doing both well. It does climb well, it descends well, it maneuvers well in technical areas. So I think somebody who wants to, kind of play around on the trail, they see
Yeah.
a little rock thing and they want to jump off of it, and
Women who want to send it.
Perfect. Well, there you have it. If you want to check out the full review, go to the Bike Magazine's Bible Bike Test issue, or you can also check our website, bikemag.com, for this video and other videos from our Bible Bike Test. See you there.
See you there.